Hey everybody, Game Warrior here. We're going to be talking today about Evolve. Now, I know I haven't had an upload in a while, so this is going to be something relatively special, I hope. I'm going to make this a two-parting review, where you're going to see the first part here is going to be the tutorial for the Assault class and the Goliath class monster, and the second part is going to be some of the solo bot gameage, because I don't want to upload a review with anybody's names, and I don't really have the ability to censor out people's names right now. So, that being said, let's get started talking about Evolve. So, first thing, I am absolutely horrid at this game. I am very bad at this game. But I absolutely love this game. This game is so much fun. There are a couple of small things that do get under my skin a little, but for the most part, I do enjoy this game immensely. The first thing that I'm going to say is, if you've seen Angry Joe's review of Evolve, it is half correct. There is a couple of microtransaction style things going on here where, from what I understand, you have to pay to unlock certain characters, and I really freaking hate that. I mean, I find that an irritating attempt to grub for money, and you know what? If you feel like you have to do that, your game usually isn't any good. But in this case, the game has enough standalone gameplay to it that I think it can get away with it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not suggesting you pay for the characters. In fact, if you can help it, I suggest you don't pay for the characters, because it's unacceptable for any game development company to make you pay side transactions to unlock characters. It wasn't like that in the old days, and it shouldn't be like that now. But I digress. There is a lot of positive talk about this game. A lot of positive talk. The gameplay is fun. It can get a bit stagnant. It's basically an online multiplayer with no real single player, from what I can tell. Even the solo whatever is playing a bot game, basically, with bot hunters, or a bot monster with bot hunters. There is no real storyline to it, which is unfortunate. This game has the potential for some fantastic story. The basic story that they give you is you are either a hunter or a monster. If you're a hunter, it is your job to hunt down the monster and protect the civilians as the planet is evacuated. If you're the monster, it's your job to feed, level up, evolve, and ultimately kill the hunters and feed on the citizens of said planet. Now, there are 4 hunter classes. You have Assault, Medic, Support, and I can't for the life of me remember Trapper. I can't believe it took me that long to remember that. You have Assault, Medic, Support, and Trapper. And they all have very important roles that they have to be good at to continue to take down the monster. The trapper being usually the person that sets the bait and traps and tries to catch the monster and keep it from escaping, so you guys can pound the ever-loving crap out of it. The assault is really meant to deal damage. This pretty much the assault's only job is to point and shoot. The medic is a long-range damage dealer, if you so choose, wielding a sniper rifle usually, but primarily is meant to keep you and your allies alive. And the support's job is to buff and, support overall your group, which is going to be things like shielding and also being able to do a wide variety of other things, like summoning, I guess, bombs or missiles from orbit to bombard the monster. Now, I have not played a lot as humans. I mostly prefer the monsters because I just absolutely love it. In fact, way back when Aliens vs. Predators first came out and I was playing that online, I rarely played as anything but the Xenomorph. But I digress. There are also 3 character classes of monster. You have the Goliath, who, in layman's terms, is basically an attack damage off-tank kind of character. And you have the Kraken, who, in my opinion, would be very much an AP nuke-ish kind of character. Kraken deals lots of ability damage quickly and can quickly damage and wipe out a small group of hunters if properly executed. And you have the Wraith. And the Wraith is ultimately the end-all, be-all assassin, essentially. It has extreme mobility, can move in and out of combat effectively, has abilities like decoy and abduct that allow you to jump in and out of combat and hide and deceive the enemy, and ultimately just really mess with their minds, including but not limited to snagging individuals out of a group, taking them a distance away, and dealing massive amounts of damage to them before using your decoy and basically vanishing off the face of the planet. For any of you League of Legends players out there, you can equate Goliath to the AD off-tank, Kraken to the AP nuke, and Wraith to the AD or AP assassin. That's essentially what their roles are. The whole premise of the game is to evolve. If you are the monster, you run around feeding and evading the hunters so that you can gain enough armor to fight them off if they catch you, or enough points to evolve yourself into stage 2 and then ultimately stage 3. Each time you evolve, you get 3 stat points. You can put a point into one of 4 abilities, or you can put multiple points into one ability. And, for example, Goliath has Rock Throw, Leap, Smash, Fire Breath, and Charge. And as you evolve and level up, you have the capacity and the ability to distribute your skill points however you want, so that if you have skills that you prefer over others, you can make those ones stronger versus weaker. For example, Kraken, I always start out with a point into Lightning Strike, Aftershock, and Vortex, because if the hunters catch me at level 1, I want to be able to push them away, deal damage from a distance, and if I have to get up close and personal, I want them to regret it. Ultimately, my favorite monster in particular is Kraken, because let's just say nukes, man. Nukes for days. I absolutely suck with Goliath. I can win with Kraken once in a while if I'm lucky, and I'm not the greatest with Wraith either. So, I mean, with that being said, it's got some fantastic short-term gameplay. I mean, replayability, as far as that's concerned, with no storyline and being constant online or solo matches against bots or online matches against people, you're going to run into the same thing that has any other online multiplayer game that's competitive or cooperative. You're going to have the, one team of monster or humans that, when you're looking at the humans, they are really good and you're not so good, or they're really bad and you just destroy them. I mean, there's very rarely a happy middle ground. You're not really going to be in a position where you would have really solid good games very often, from what I've noticed. I mean, as an inexperienced monster myself, I can see how damaging it can be to have a really solid group of hunters and a not so solid group of hunters try to take you out, and the results are usually either a 3 to 5 minute game, or you spend 10 to 15 minutes getting to stage 3 and then you just utterly destroy the enemy team. Now, it is a fantastic game if you have a group of friends that you like to play with. I don't currently have a group of friends that I play with. I have a couple of friends on my friends list, but not many that play Evolve. So I tend to play a lot of the generic matchmaking. And I do play a lot of solo stuff, and I try to constantly change up my style and learn maps inside and out before I get on the multiplayer. Ultimately, if I were to rate this game, I would give it a 7 out of 10. It is a fairly strong and fairly unique and fun look at multiplayer experiences, and it definitely is worth playing if you can get it, you know, cheap. If you can pick it up at GameStop for like 40 bucks, definitely do it. If you have a group of people to play with, definitely pick it up. It is definitely worth the play. I am going to go into more detail onto what each class and each